This is my very first apartment, and I bought it for only 10% down. If you want to buy apartments for less than 20% down with creative finance, you gotta listen up now. Hey guys, I'm J Leman. I talk all things real estate on this channel. I'm a licensed realtor here in Champaign, Illinois, and I'm a real estate investor. And I'm talking right here, I'm right in front of my very first apartment building that I bought back in 2020. The pandemic was going on, people were scared, but I wanted to keep on investing because I thought rental property was going to soar in value over that time as a bunch of money came into the system from the Federal Reserve. This one though, I couldn't afford. This property was $475,000. I didn't have the $95,000 that I needed to put down on this property. So I asked the seller, I said, hey, I know you want $475,000. Would you be willing to do any seller carryback if I got to your price? A lot of times you want to win on terms. You also want to win on price, but if you can't win on both, win on either price or terms. He really wanted a price of $475,000. So what I said is, all right, that's fine. I'll give you the price of $475,000. Come on, I'll show you a little bit closer as we go. I'll give you the price of $475,000, but I want good terms. I want to only put 10% down of my own money, and I want you to carry back 10% of the down payment. So the bank brought 80%. I got an 80% loan on this. At that time, it was 3.5% interest rate. And I put down about $47,000. He also carried back another $47,000. 47 was about 10% of 475. He carried back 475 at a low interest rate. And what I was able to do is I was able to pay my mortgage to the bank. I was able to pay him back, and I was still able to cash flow a little bit on this property. And that's how you're able to buy stuff with lower than 20% down. Now, here's the good part. This property right here was worth $475. It rented for about $5,000 a month. It's 11 units, 10 one bedroom, one bath. It's 1 2 bedroom, 2 baths. And what I found out was this, is the rents were actually quite low. We took the rents in 4 years now, since 2020, from $5,000 in gross rents to $7,000. That's an increase of 40%. When you increase apartment buildings like this, or the income they produce, what happens is you actually increase the value of the property because it's about forcing the appreciation. You see, houses, those are based on comparable sales. A house like this is based on comparable sales, meaning the houses all around this neighborhood determine the value of this house. But this property is based on the income of this property. It's called the income approach for value property. So when you take the rents from $5,000 and you get the rents up to $7,000, a raising of almost 40%, what ends up happening is the value of that property goes up 30 or 40%. Now, you can sell that and cash out, or you can refinance that, get 80% of the new value of the property, which in this case is probably somewhere between $600,000 and $650,000. Take that money out and use that money tax-free to go buy another property like the ones across the street, right? So that's the beauty of buying with creative financing, like 10% down, and increasing rents on apartments. When you increase rents on apartments, what ends up happening is the value goes up. You can tap that equity later on to buy more apartments, and that cycle of getting more apartments is going to get you more cash flow where you could increase the rents and then tap that equity and buy more and more, and it's going to snowball. So if you're like me and you didn't know how to get into buying a property like this, or this seems like unattainable to you, I can promise you, we've helped a bunch of investors here in Champaign-Urbana do the exact same thing through creative finance, through buying properties with low and no money down and getting them their first apartment building. Whether that's a 2-unit, a 4-unit, an 11-unit, a 20-unit, we can help you get it done. And that's the power of working with a realtor who not only helps investors but owns property himself. And I want to help you. So don't wait to buy real estate and wait, specifically with low and no money down. And if this brought you value, would you like, subscribe, would you ring the bell for notifications? Let's go.